The Global Quran, a dynamic comprehension, a human perspective. Chapter 2, The Successors of Imran, Part 2, Selection Criteria of Successors. Briefing to Chapter 1. The preface of the Quran introduced a type of guides, leaders called the Blessed, who established socio-economic systems with knowledge, wisdom, and justice, without any discrimination. This is called the pathway of God. The ones on a contrary pathway are called disgraced. Chapter 1, The Cow, illustrated some examples of the blessed and disgraced leaderships from the descendants of Ibrahim or Abraham. The branch stemmed from his son Ishaq or Isaac is termed Bani Israel, and the one stemmed from his son Ismail or Ishmael is termed Bani Hashim. Bani Israel had 3 heavenly scriptures, the Psalms, Torah, and the Bible. It has been warned that these scriptures were distorted after the prophets carrying them were killed or passed away. This caused the transfer of leadership from Bani Israel to Bani Hashim, with the last prophet Mohammad appointed amongst Bani Hashim. With an updated scripture, the Quran means the lesson. Review of Chapter 2, Part 1. It had been discussed in Part 1 that Chapter 1 clearly identifies that God had transferred the leadership of mankind from Bani Israel to Bani Hashim to preserve the right manifestation of the divine rules, with Muhammad nominated as the final prophet. Hence, the succession of this final scripture, the Quran, was meant to be taken over by Muhammad's successors. In this way, the term Al-e-Imran, or the family/successors of Imran, in the title of Chapter 2 must refer to successors of someone named Imran amongst Bani Hashim with a proven history of protecting Muhammad and his Islamic movement by all means that warrants the reliability to protect and preserve the Quran in its originality. The history of Islam, written by Muslim and non-Muslim scholars, identify Muhammad's uncle and the chief of Bani Hashim, Imran, as the only Imran that qualifies the above roles. Traditionally, the successorship was meant to be taken up by the males. Unfortunately, none of Muhammad's sons survived to take up the role as per tradition. His successorship was carried forward by the family formed by his daughter, Fatima, and his uncle Imran's son, Ali, who was already a dynamic part of Muhammad's movement and was the man of the family after him. Hence, as per tradition, the succession of Muhammad was continued by Ali, who was the son of Imran and the only son-in-law of Muhammad. In this way, the term Al-e-Imran seems to be another name of Ali Muhammad, successors of Muhammad, stemmed in the marriage of Muhammad's daughter Fatima and Imran's son Ali. Apparently, the preference was given to Ali-Imran as the title due to the tradition that the father's family name is carried forward as the family name. This tradition exists till now all over the world. The current section, Part 2 of Chapter 2, explains the selection process of Ali-Imran or Ali Muhammad, relating it to the criteria applied to select prophets like Adam, Nuh, Noah, and Ibrahim, including his successors via verse 33. Introduction to Part 2. The selection criteria of Ali-Imran, verses 33 to 82. Verses 33 to 34 state, Surely God elevated the status of Adam, Nuh, the descendants of Ibrahim, and the descendants of Imran, over others in all space-times, some of them being in the lineage of others, and that God knows best. It is important to note in this verse that Adam, Nuh, and Ibrahim were prophets, while Imran was not a prophet. He might have played a role as important as that of the prophets that he and his successors were nominated in this verse. Among the prophets, Adam and Nuh are mentioned individually, while Ibrahim's generation is also included in selection for leadership, as per his concerns. And when Ibrahim was tested for his word and he was successful, God informed him of his new appointment as an Imam, the leader of mankind. He asked, "Would this continue in my generation?" God replied in affirmation, "Only to those who are not oppressors." Historic connection. Historically, the connection of Adam, Nuh, Ibrahim, and Imran can be established as follows. Number 1. Adam, the first human being religiously believed to be made from soil, who had the ability of speech or expression, and had been educated about the universe and its objectivity. Stated in the Quran, chapter 55, Al-Rahman. Historians explain it saying that Adam had all ingredients of soil in his blood, including those that had been missing in previous species closest to human beings. This made him capable of speech and expression. In this way, the major attributes of Adam counted for his selection as father of an updated and intelligent human race had been the quality of knowledge and the ability of expression. 2. Nuh. 1,100 years after Adam, Nuh appears to be the savior of life on earth after most of it was terminated due to the evil characters human beings had developed. Historians had confirmed with geological evidence that the Noachian flood must have wiped out life completely from all regions of earth, and the only species left were the ones saved on Nuh's boat, called Noah's Ark. Religiously, he was made a prophet based on his knowledge, understanding of existing social and religious norms as inhuman, and a courageous effort for social reform that he applied to educate people, stated in Quran, chapter 71, Al-Nuh, Genesis 5, verses 1 to 32, 3, 6, 13, and 21. 3. Al-e-Imran. 400 years after Nuh, Ibrahim was another savior of a generation after his nation was destroyed due to their evil character. He is called the father of the saved nations and is mentioned as a prophet, promoted to the designation of Imam, or the leader of the mankind, based on his performance of knowledge, leadership skills, and bravery to educate his nation and preserve the sanctity of God's messages, stated in chapter 1, part 6. His successorship was carried forward by his two sons, Ishaq or Isaac and Ismail, Ishmael. Most well-known prophets like Musa or Moses and Isa or Jesus were from Ishaq's generation, and Mohammad was from Ismail's generation. Hence, the key messengers of God belong to Al-e-Ibrahim, or the successors of Ibrahim. Now, let us go back to verse 123 of chapter 1. And when Ibrahim was tested for his word, and he was successful, God informed him of his new appointment as an Imam, the leader of mankind. He asked, "Would this continue in my generation?" God replied in affirmation, "Only to those who are not oppressors." This verse makes a perfect connection with verses 33 to 34 of chapter 2 as Imran and his successors were in the generation of Ibrahim. They were well known among Bani Hashim for their noblest character, bravery, knowledge, and leadership skills as discussed in chapter 1, part 6, and were far away from oppression. 4. Al-e-Imran. As explained in part 1 of this chapter, they are the successors of Muhammad amongst Al-e-Ibrahim. Imran was Muhammad's uncle, a man of knowledge, character, and bravery, and his successorship formed by his son Ali, and Muhammad's daughter Fatima established the highest level of knowledge, bravery of expression for justice, and sacrifice to preserve the sanctity of God's messages. A detailed biography of Ali and Fatima's successors, Al-e-Imran, is explained in numerous books. Some examples are given in references. In this way, the selection criteria of the three prophets, Adam, Nuh, and Ibrahim, the two generations, Ali-Ibrahim and Ali-Imran, Ali-Muhammad, in verse 33 can be asserted as knowledge, noble character, bravery, and sacrifice to preserve the manifestation of religion. In this way, verses 33 and 34 together with verse 123 above further prove that the title of this chapter is related to Imran, the chief of Bani Hashim, and the uncle of Prophet Muhammad, also known as Abu Talib. The other two Imrans, father of Musa and father of Maryam, referred in many translations and interpretations of the Quran, seem out of place, as their generations, Bani Israel, consist of many examples of proven oppression in chapter 1. None of their prophets ever got the title of Imam. On the other hand, Ali, son of Abu Talib, and at least 5 persons, extended to 11, in his lineage are believed to be Imams in more than one schools of thought among the Muslims based on their noblest characters and the battles they fought for justice, sacrificing their lives and families. Other examples of selection. Some other examples have also been given to understand God's selection process of representatives based on their eminent character. Some prominent selections include Maryam, Mary, Zachariah, Maryam's carer and godfather, and Isa, Jesus. Maryam and Zachariah. It is stated that Maryam's mother had dedicated her expected child to God before giving birth to Maryam. After Maryam's birth, she assumed that a girl could not be able to serve God like a boy. However, God acknowledged her intention, knowing that Maryam would be a pious woman, hence asserted that it's the character, not the gender, that qualifies for God's service. God organized the best foster care for Maryam with Zachariah, who was chosen for this purpose due to his nobility. Zachariah took good care of her and came to know that she was closer to God and was receiving special blessings from God. It is specified that with Maryam's prophecy, God awarded Zachariah a son, Yahya, John. In old age with apparently an infertile wife, Yahya also was a noble and virtuous person and was appointed as a messenger. Isa as the prophet of God. The Quran states that Maryam had a son, Isa, Jesus, without a biological father. Hence, Isa was titled the Soul of God. God informed her about it beforehand with the miracles Isa would possess. For example, talking to people even in infancy, bringing a soil-made bird to life, curing born blind and lepers, and bringing the dead to life. Maryam raised Isa with knowledge and wisdom about Torah. Isa had a profound character and was awarded with an updated book from God, the Bible. He was appointed as a messenger to Bani Israel. He verified Torah as a book from God and informed about some amendments in the Bible of the previous commandments. Witnesses of Isa. Like other prophets, Isa also had opponents. The Quran declared that his followers who promised him to help him in trouble were acknowledged as witnesses of Isa. God assured them that they would supersede over his opponents until the day of judgment. This example gives more insight into God's selection of representatives. It shows that helping a prophet in difficult times is a sign of sincerity and proves the eligibility to receive God's support for nations. Hence, it can be argued that Al-e-Imran, or Al-e-Muhammad, receives special attention from God in the Quran for being the strongest support for Muhammad and his Islamic movement. Prophet Muhammad's selection. The Quran clarifies that Prophet Muhammad's selection was also based on his knowledge, wisdom, and noble character to educate people. Before him, Isa's birth without a biological father was a question among Christians, and he was considered God's son. Muhammad explained the birth of Isa with that of Adam, who was believed to be born without any parent. Hence, he described two concepts. 1. God's intention is sufficient to create a soul from scratch. 2. God is neither the parent nor the offspring of any soul or creation, stated in chapter 112, the Raw. For those who had any doubts, the Quran advised that they should undergo a delegacy, with Muhammad bringing their respective male and female fellows as witnesses. That is, people who had the knowledge of heavenly scriptures should witness the argument. Those who still didn't accept the truth and or sabotage the arbitration process are referred in the Quran as anarchists. It is further argued that any difference of opinion in faith could be resolved by submitting to the common elements of their respective scriptures, as they all were from one God. Those common elements, if followed, could have formed a united world of Abrahamic religions. Disputes over Ibrahim. The Quran condemned disputes over Ibrahim if he was a Jew or a Christian. The dispute was insane, as both Torah and the Bible were revealed after Ibrahim. The Quran calls Ibrahim a Muslim, the one who submitted for peace and did not believe polytheism. That is, anyone's claim to be on Abrahamic faith would validate if the claimant followed Ibrahim's character and submission for peace and does not believe in polytheism. That is, the faith cannot be identified by having books or scriptures if their readers are still disorientated and misguide others. The Quran clarifies that denying a scripture knowing that similar messages had been conveyed in previous scriptures is considered as deliberate concealment of the truth. Confrontation with God's selection is self-servicing. The Quran says that, in similar ways, people did not accept the selection of Al-e-Imran. Moreover, they provoked others not to accept their selection, believing themselves superior to Al-e-Imran for selection. It is advised that God chooses representatives according to requirement and can expand preferences as required. Those who deserve selection have knowledge and character and decide matters without discrimination. There cannot be people who think that it's okay to be dishonest with a particular class of people and associate their ignorance with God's commandments. Such people distort God's words and want people to obey them rather than God. They will get nothing on the day of accountability. No one deserves obedience like God. According to the Quran, even a prophet awarded with scripture and wisdom would never demand people to follow himself blindly. Rather, they would ask people to follow the book sensibly. They would not ask anyone to worship angels and prophets. They believe messengers preceding them and verify the scriptures and wisdom that they had received from them. They also leave something to help forthcoming messengers. They took oath to perform these duties. They are witnesses upon each other's oaths, and God is a witness upon all of them. Those who cross their limits shall be the culprits.